sort of like shrug it off like it's like these people are just
talk to you later.
Regular mums and dads or whatever, and they give them airtime on like national TV and say like, oh, these people are just concerned about Australia's welfare, when they're really not. They're just like racists, and like it's important to come out and actually say that these people are racist. They're not just like trying to fight against extremism or whatever. Like that's
what are the inherent dangers of this continual racial policy that we're seeing from politicians are now spreading in a small way at the moment through the general population?
Yeah. Well, I mean, firstly, you got to look at like France.
I'm going back over there.
You know, that country has basically treated Muslims like second-class citizens, and like marginalized them so much that like, you know, people feel like they have to, you know, go to extreme lengths to counter this, and then that leads to more sort of bombing of, you know, civilians in Syria, or like, and the creation of more refugees. So it's like, it's all linked together. Like, it only further helps justify the wars that are happening in the Middle East, and like further justifies the increasing role of like the police to like take away more of our like rights, like to be able to like search us, you know, detain people without like charging them, just like further the anti-terror laws, further international conflict. So I think it's important to sort of oppose this on like wherever we can, just because it's so dominant.
What do you think the solution is, you know, with governments of all sides basically pushing this whole racist line, this whole scare and terrorism line? What do you think we can do to sort of curtail that and even overturn the thinking of not only of our elected politicians, but of the general population? Maybe the solution is not to just re-elect people anyway. Maybe you have your own thoughts on that.
Well, no, I think what we're doing today is like one of the pathways to like a solution. When you come out and you openly call these people fascists and Nazis and racists, it makes it impossible for the media to cover it any other way. Like, so like if they're going to cover it, which they will, because it's like a lot of people oppose this shit, and like it's a nationwide phenomenon, this Reclaim group. So like basically just making it impossible for them to sort of go around the fact that these people are actually Nazis, they're racist. The other day in Melbourne, that guy was caught with like materials to make explosives and guns and stuff. Like, these are the extremists. Like, these are the people who like the police should like be like looking to, you know, prosecute. But like they just go after like Muslims and that, because like that fits with what the like Australian ideology is. Like, if we didn't have like this racist sort of attitude towards like Islam and just like Arab people in general, like why would people accept like what we've been doing in the Middle East for so long? Like if people thought that, you know, Muslims and Arabs were like just any other person, then we wouldn't, like, people wouldn't be so content with the bombing and like slaughtering of children.
So what do you think it's going to take to overturn this overriding racist policy that's discriminated against Aborigines and anyone that's different from the old Anglo sort of culture that's been here? What do you think it's going to take to overturn that?
Ultimately, I think the only thing to actually get rid of it all is through like a socialist revolution, like a mass you know, uprising of workers against the state, because these ideas are going to always be present under capitalism. It's just the reality. Like, so yeah, ultimately that is how we get rid of it. But in the meantime, while we don't have, you know, class war isn't sort of demonstrations at workplaces to bring the government and business to a halt. We have to like mobilize as many people as we can on the grounds that these people shouldn't have you know, equal sort of right to say what they have to say as we do. Like, we should not have it, like there should be no ground for like fascists and racists to, you know, come on national TV and be allowed to like spew their filth like across the country while we don't get anywhere near as much as that sort of coverage. And I think it will just take more and more demonstrations like this, you know, talking to people like just every day about this kind of stuff and like sort of exposing the roots of it in capitalism. And yeah, I think ultimately the only way is to get rid of it.
Thank you very much. Your name again?
Reese.
Reese. Thank you, Reese.
Establishment. I'd like, with that goal in mind, I'd like everyone to get their phones out and to take a photo of this demonstration and upload it onto Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever people use these days. Can everyone do that?
Already done it.
And tag all your friends and let them know why you're here and why they should be here too the next time, because building a movement takes effort, it takes publicity, and that is what we're all here to do. While you're doing that, I'm going to introduce our next speaker, Ahmed Abu Shabana. Ahmed is a member of the Muslim community here in Sydney. He spoke at the last demonstration we held in Parramatta. He goes to the Parramatta Mosque, which was disgracefully targeted by the Party for Freedom, which called for it to be bulldozed. He spoke brilliantly at that demonstration. His video went viral on Facebook. So we're so lucky to have him again. Please make him feel welcome. The wonderful, the brave Ahmed.
Thank you. Thanks, Mo. And thanks, Uncle Ken. Thanks, Uncle Ken, for the usual amazing inspirational word. And I'm so humbled to speak after you. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of God, the all-compassionate, the merciful. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you. I've been trying to keep a low profile and work behind the scenes. After all, I'm not an Australian citizen yet. And I didn't want to risk my chances, especially with the new laws that they keep introducing every day. But I've had enough. Enough of the lies, enough of the torture, enough of the killing. I've had enough of the racism, of the bigotry, and of people like Reclaim Australia. So I've decided to speak up. And I'll continue to speak up against every injustice. I'll start by acknowledging and paying my respect to the traditional owners of this land, past and present. The land that those who reclaim Australia wanting to reclaim. And it's beyond me, how can you reclaim a stolen land? Those who reclaim Australia, and many more who support them, they don't want refugees. They want to turn back the boats and stop refugees to come here, especially those from the Middle East and of Islamic background. You know what? Most, if not all, of asylum seekers, refugees, and even economic migrants, they don't want to be here in the first place. They're happy to stay at their home with their families and friends. But when many countries like Australia go and help place oppressors and dictators in their land, when many countries like Australia go and bomb and invade the land, that's why they try to come here. Then those who reclaim Australia and many more who support them, they want those refugees, when they finally make it here, to be grateful and thankful. For what? For forcing people to flee their homeland? For forcing people to go on leaky boats? For forcing people to go on leaky boats, risking their lives and the lives of their families. And when they finally make it to our land, they put them in an offshore detention center, indefinitely. Where they face on a daily basis mental and physical abuse, torture, rape, even murder. Yeah, thank you. Grateful. To the new Prime Minister, you speak nicely, with a smile on your face. But don't make the difference between yourself and your predecessor. Like the difference between Barack Obama and George W. Bush. Same ugly policies, but just Obama does it with a smile. To the new Prime Minister, change the policies. Don't turn back the boats. Close offshore and onshore detention centers. To the new Prime Minister, stop Australia's intervention in the Middle East. Last but not least, to all those questioning or wondering what's Islam's position on the recent attacks, it's very simple and very clear. Islam is against the killing of innocent and civilian people, whether you live in a cave or in a White House. Thank you.
The fascists are all the way down there, so we're going to have to be a little bit louder, right, everyone? Say it loud, say it clear! 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 Well done, everyone!
I'm very proud as a member of the CFMU and as the president of the CFMU, but representing trade unionists more generally, to stand here with you and say no to racism. The members of the CFMEU come from all around the world. They come from Iran, they come from Lebanon, they come from Iraq, they come from Sudan, they come from Southern Europe, and of course they come from Australia. And we're very proud of that diversity, the diversity of culture, the diversity of language, the diversity of customs that makes our industries, but also our communities so rich. So we are disgusted by those who want to victimise and marginalise people, particularly those in the Muslim community, and I do say very strongly that we do welcome Muslims amongst ourselves and in our country, and many of our members are Muslims, and we're very proud to have them as members. We fight against the exploitation of workers every day. Many of them are from overseas, who are here as temporary workers being exploited by multinational corporations who are only, at the end of the day, motivated by profits. We must come together and stand against that, and we're pretty much being attacked every day for doing our jobs, but it is what it is. And we also, for us, equity, fairness, justice, they're not negotiable. And that's why I'm here today on behalf of the CFMEU to stand with you and say no to the rabble down there, and to say that we do welcome Muslims in this country. I'm the daughter of immigrants. They came here in the 60s, they made a life here, and I got a wonderful opportunity as a result. I grew up at a time when multiculturalism meant something. It was valued, it was protected, it was seen as something that we should be proud of. We've got to get back to that. I know that Australia can be a tolerant and wonderful place where people are welcome to make a life here, but those are seeking refuge are safe. Just as we reject mindless violence and violence against innocent civilians across the world, whether it be Paris, Mali, Syria, Palestine, we've got to stand together. We need to take a different approach. We need to build a movement of peace and tolerance so that we can break the cycle of violence and let it know to the powers that be that this is not good enough and we can do better. And we are all humans at the end of the day, and we should all be looking after each other, not killing each other. So I stand with you. I wish to be organised for this time, and we work together to build this movement. Thank you very much.
You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Now, please, with all the noise you're making, I'd like us to raise our fist to the sky and just take a moment of silence for all those innocent at the moment that are being terrorised by weapons and brutality in Syria, in Paris, in Beirut, in Nigeria, in Yemen, in Australia as First Nations. So please. Thank you. Now I wrote a small poem which I'd like to share with you all. Excuse me while I find it. Okay, dedicated to those insolent, reclaim Australia, followers, minions, sheeple, and all the above. They say it's their way of life they are reclaiming and not our land. Let me break it down to you so that you'll all understand. They're reclaiming oppression, genocide, theft, and political terror. For 227 years, terrorism has ruled this land. Make no error. They've stolen everything down to my identity. In all the name of what? Let me think. Political gain and Western brutality. Let me speak fact from their fiction and keep it real. Was it not a Middle Eastern couple that started this ordeal? Joseph and Mary, in the beginning, sought refuge, but now those doing only the same are to be denied or detained with abuse. Australia is a country built on terrorism and lies, which they proudly prove with the flag that they fly. So to all Muslims, please share no fear. To you, from me, First Nation sovereign, you are welcome here. Thank you very much.
Look, I'm going to be brief. I just want to say, first of all, thank you to everyone here. It's so important that we occupy this space. There's a myth going around that ordinary people in this country are racist, and I think it's precisely that. It's a myth. It's a contested space. So if you have a racist friend, what you need to say to them is, take your anger, take your concern, and turn it to the people who are really putting the world in the toilet, the people who are really affecting our lives. It's not people fleeing persecution, it's not people of a different religion, it's the 1% who are doing very nicely, thank you, out of the way things are right now. You want to fix the problem, you take on them.